Welcome. We are back. LF Bell, Brian, Jack, Mr. Robinson, Florida, Dave, Jack, Spiderwebs, Linta Glenn, Commando, Rich, Nadir, JG. What's up, everybody? How you doing? Let's see what's up in the chat. Florida Nick says no dip on SPY tomorrow. We're gonna get to the overall market in a little bit. A lot of people had red days today. Market was down quite a bit. Crypto was down. Gold was up though. We did talk about gold last night. I know I honestly don't really care too much about gold myself, but hey, we've been talking about this chart every night on stream for the past few days. And I talked about how it was breaking out. So gold had a spike today. What else is in the chat though? Some chats about Evergrande. Florida Nick says premium membership gave me the MRK bullseye. I saw that you sent me a screenshot. Good stuff today. Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of good things about the bullseye bot, which is basically like this. Shout out to Trady Ticks. But for premium members, there's this bullseye bot, which basically uses algorithms to find potential options trades. Of course, it doesn't work all the time. Even Linta Glenn in the chat just said, AI failed me on 3 calls today, but maybe they pay tomorrow, who knows? So, you know, it's not perfect. It's more like a scanner. But I heard some good things about it in the past couple of weeks. All right, I'm seeing a little bit of emotion in the chat here and there, which again, emotions will always be a part of trading. It's not financial advice. It's in your best interest to try and take as many emotions out of trading as possible. There's never going to be a situation where you're emotionless. It's impossible because we're talking about money here. Emotions have to be involved, but the lower amount of emotions you can have with your trading, whether it's a green or a red day, the better off you might be. So just remember that. It's really day to day, of course, how you're trading matters, but really all that matters in terms of your account is what it looks like at the end of the year. So just look at the overall P&L. Don't focus on the day to day, and yeah. What else? Avalon says Champ good call on the CLOV bottom option today. Yeah, we're gonna recap the trades. This morning I woke up late, which honestly, market didn't do anything while I was sleeping, so not even frustrated about that. Then I started looking for some day trades. I woke up around like noon. Couldn't really find much. Like I was looking around, just everything was on low volume. The market looked 50-50. So I was just kind of, all right, maybe just taking the day off. And then trades came to me. Like I really wasn't looking around for trades, but I was just looking at the SPY to see what the SPY was doing. Found a nice trade on that. I was looking at CLOV to see what it was doing. Saw some variables. We had a nice trade on that as well. So the trades just kind of came to me today, that's always how it should be. The trades should come to you. You should never be chasing setups. If the setups appear, they appear. But yeah, that was good, especially on a really red day across the board for most stocks. We traded 2 different calls and both of them were winners in premium today. So that's awesome. Mehdi says, Mitch Ray said you have to have amazing skills to buy Bitcoin at 69K. Yeah. we were talking about this recently, but there's like some sort of challenge on Twitter where it's like some people started like a paper trading challenge. And like the first one to blow up their account wins the challenge. Again, it's fake money, it's paper trading, so they're not actually trying to blow up real accounts. And they can't do options either. I just randomly saw that on Twitter the other day. It's crazy. I think a tip is about to pop up. I'm just waiting here for a second. What's up, Keanu Trades in the chat? Go check him out on Twitter. He's been crushing it lately. I don't know why this tip's not popping up. But I'll just oh, there we go. Jack says, can we get microtransactions on the Discord for Vibe coins? How much money do I need to throw at you for another low yield interest loan? Unfortunately, I cannot make any sort of currency. So we cannot do that. Because all that has to be, I don't even know the words to use. But you get why I can't do that. It would be illegal for me to do that without all the proper whatever. I don't even know what the proper like, yeah. Hopefully that made sense. Answer is no. But thank you very much for the $5 tip. Or it's actually a 5. Is that pounds or euros? I always get them mixed up. Let's get some vibes in the chat for Jack. I honestly don't even know what I just said, so just ignore what I just said. I do use divergence indicators. If you want to learn more about that, watch the course in the description. It's free. And let's get started. All right, so we're going to talk about Bitcoin today. We're going to talk about OMI, SHIB, Filecoin. We're going to talk about some cryptos. Then we're going to talk about the market. If you've been watching the streams, I mean, I'm going to run another clip, but we're going to run the clip in a little bit. But if you've been watching the streams, like, that's all I'm gonna say. And we'll talk about CLOV, of course, Fisker, the ongoing trades, and we're gonna do some day trade recaps later on. So we got a lot to talk about. So let's get started. Bitcoin pulled back kind of everything in terms of major asset classes apart from metals, I guess, or at least gold. I don't know what silver did. We just got like an arrow back today. A lot of relation, or a lot of the news is relating this to Evergrande, and then also I think CPI numbers might have dropped this morning. Let's see if I can. It was PPI maybe. Actually, price. What does that even stand for? I know what CPI is, but that's producer price index. Okay. So that was this morning, and 10-year note auction in the afternoon, and I think Powell might have had a speech at 9 a.m. Shout out to Cheddar Freeze who shared that in the Discord. So yeah. Also started the stream early. I'm just, I don't know, wanted to go live early tonight so I could sleep a little bit earlier. But that always does screw up like the viewership. Unfortunately, it's all good. Thank you all of you who are watching the stream. Thank you. Bitcoin pulled back. I mean, there's not much I can do from a technical standpoint on Bitcoin. It did actually bounce roughly, went a little bit under, but remember we talked about the support last night for Bitcoin around 63.6K. It went down to 62.7, so it did go about 1% under that, but eventually bounced off of it. Now it's pulling back a little bit again. We'll see if you can hold that or not. That's really all I can really look at on Bitcoin for right now. Yeah. Ethereum. Kind of looks the same. I mean, you could probably chart a demand line here. Probably like this is how I would chart mine. So it's still above it, a demand line. I don't know if I call it a wedge, because you could also just chart a supply line like this. I think Mitch Ray has been sharing an upsloping channel on Ethereum for a while now. Looks like it's still within it for me, and it's still above the previous all-time high from May, which was also resistance on October 21st. So as long as Ethereum can hold over 4K, it still looks fine to me, but obviously just to get to 4K, it's like more than 10% lower. Florida Nick with the $5 super chat says not financial advice with an S. Thank you very much for the tip. Is that 2 tips? Whoa. All right. So you sent another $5 tip to correct yourself. That's actually awesome. Thank you for the $10 super chats, Florida Nick. Vibes in the chat for Florida Nick for the $10 right there. I've never seen anybody tip again to correct like a spelling mistake. You're awesome for that. Thank you. But yeah, just again, another reminder, I know you know this by now, Florida Nick, and also I want to say thank you for saving my Wi-Fi so many times, like literally. But just a reminder for people who don't know, because you might just see other people super chatting, YouTube takes like a 30-something% cut off of super chats. If you use the Streamlabs link, which is the pin chat, they don't take any cuts from it, and I get the full tip. Just letting you know. So yeah, thank you for the tips. Really appreciate it. Vibes in the chat. Now let's talk about ECOMI, sorry. I really, it's just a bad habit at this point. I need to start saying that better. Pulling back. Again, I don't own this yet. I'm still waiting for my money to clear on Coinbase. It takes a while on Coinbase. I think it takes like 3 to 5 business days or something, but I'm still waiting for that. But we're gonna talk about SHIB next, but I'll explain that a little bit further. In terms of the chart, not much. We did kind of talk about this candle yesterday, kind of pulling back. I don't really see anything short-term technical wise. Long-term, it still looks like a potential bump and run pattern to me on ECOMI, but short-term is just kind of in between 0.006 and 0.008. It's like right in between them. So I have no clue whether it taps this level first or taps that. That's really all I got for this right now. So even when my money does clear and I can move it off of Coinbase, I might still just wait to see if I can find a better technical edge. However, on the 4-hour, you do have hidden bullish divergence potentially on the MACD and on the RSI, and potentially a cup and handle here too. I mean, a little bit deep on the handle. Typically, I don't like them to drop under 50% retraces, but the psychology is pretty similar. Very clear rounding bottom, and then the handle would just be something like this. Kind of like a broadening wedge for the handle, honestly. All right. And then we'll talk about SHIB now. I'm down like over 10% on SHIB. I talked about how I got some SHIB, I think, on Monday night. Yeah, I'm down a decent amount, but I didn't put that much money into it, so it's whatever. But yeah, it looked like it was breaking out to me. Maybe maybe just the simplest thing. My supply line could have maybe been charted like this, and then maybe I move that down. Maybe this is a better supply line. But on the 1-hour, pretty close to a bullish Gartley. Thing is, it went all the way, when I charted this, it was around the 786. It was kind of holding it, you could see, for like one candle, and then it went all the way down here. So it's kind of invalidated at this point. I was looking at this earlier in the day. Went way too deep, kind of like a Bartley at that point, because it went close to an 886, and then it saw over a 10 bounce off of that. But yeah, the SHIB chart, I'm still in it. But yeah, again, I talked about this on Mondays. Just a short-term trade for me, and I am down on it. Right now, maybe a little bit of close to a bullish pin bar on the daily. That's pretty much what I see on SHIB for right now, and that is that. And then finally, Filecoin. This one was trying to break out, and then all the cryptos just kind of pulled back. This swing is still up 2% since the entry. I think I said this in the Discord. If I didn't, I'm saying it on stream now. I'm gonna stop doing break evens on cryptos, because we had like 3 or 4 cryptos that became break evens, and they went on to hit like 40, 50, 60% profit targets. So for cryptos, just because of how volatile they are, I'm not going to do the break even rule on the sheet. Again, it's always up to you. You know, if you want to break even on a crypto that was up 10% and came back down to the entry, do whatever you want with your own money. I'm just not going to do break evens on the weekly sheet for cryptos anymore. If you're wondering what the weekly sheet is, it is this. I track every single one of the swings I share in the Discord and in Premium and on Twitter, and I compile them into this sheet, and every single week I make some sort of a sheet to track the results, whether good, bad, mixed, whatever it is. This is actually available in the Discord if you want to look at every single week. So if that's something that interests you, just join the Discord. It's in the links channel in the Discord, and you can see how all the swings have done. I just don't really see any other people sharing this stuff publicly. I know there's like private trading groups that have like all of their swings and whatnot tracked. But for in terms of like public people, I don't see much. I think a few people do like daily recaps and stuff, but every single week has been here. It's gonna keep being here. These are kind of the last couple of months. It's gone pretty well up until this week. Even last week was pretty nice, especially for options. And this week is currently kind of mixed, but yeah, all the weeks are available to all of you publicly if you want to see how my trades have done over the past year. This was tracked. This doesn't include all the weeks because up till week 5, I only put like winners. But after week 5 to around week 40, the rough percent of gains was 3,000%. Rough percent of losses was around 1,000%. So pretty much a 3-to-1 return on gains compared to losses. And go figure why it's a 3-to-1, because shout out to Mitch Ray, I learned that reward to risk strategy from him. But just wanted to share this with all of you if you haven't seen it yet. Whenever you hear me referring to the sheet, that's what I'm talking about. So yeah, it's Filecoin. Futures for stocks are currently up a little bit, but relatively flat. The Hang Seng Index is actually up today. It's up. Actually, no, that might be wrong. It's actually down. It's down 0.25%. It looks like it gapped down, but since the open, it's gone up a little bit. After a bullish engulfing bullish hammer candle yesterday, which is pretty interesting. But yeah, we'll see. And Evergrande, it's saying that Evergrande is trading right now. I don't know if this is confirmed, but looks confirmed. November 10th. Oh yeah, we just saw a move. So what's going on here? I really don't know what the deal is with Evergrande. It's at $2.40 right now. But everybody is talking about it today. So yeah. What's up with the overall stock market? What's going on? What are my thoughts? If you've been watching the stream for the past few nights, I'm going to pound myself on the back here. We've been doing a pretty good job. I mean, honestly, I'm going to pat myself on the back again. I think we've been doing a really good job of analyzing the market the whole entire year. I mean, the March dip, I hate using the word called, but called it. The beginning of May dip, called the bottom there as well. September, all these lows and highs, I was kind of tracking them day by day. If you were here 2 months ago, a month and a half ago, you remember. Only area where I kind of messed up a little bit was like right here. I was bearish on the market because of some lower time frame stuff, and it just got invalidated. Then I got bullish again. And what happened on Monday night? Let's run the clip. I don't know why my computer just started lagging, but I do think just simple supply and demand and oscillators that usually lead to reversals. I do think you look at the fear and greed index, like just not really fundamental, but just from a supply and demand, fear and greed index, technical analysis standpoint, we're at areas where it makes sense to pull back a little bit. Again, I think a pullback is not financial advice. I do think a pullback is a buy, but at a certain point, you know, not the second we have one red day or one real red day for the market. It's like, all right, buy the dip, we're going back up. You know, we might get a week or two of like just maybe not even pullback, but just sideways action. But I really think we haven't even, as a market, sat down to understand what just happened yet. I think everybody's still just so caught up in the Tesla going crazy, the AMD going crazy, whatever it is like that. But yeah, still kind of the same opinion. I don't think that this is it. I think actually we could pull back a little bit more tomorrow or Thursday, but I don't expect us to see any large, like literally if we were to keep pulling back, like maybe give up like this or something. Like I don't think we're seeing anything like this week. I don't think we're going to get under 4,600 on the S&P this week. Over time, who knows? But okay, so that was pretty much what I said about the market the last 2 nights on the stream. And yeah, market did pretty much that. And let me go back over to the charts. Let's close this out. All right, there we go. So let me put the music back on. Perfect. So yeah, we pulled back for 2 days and pull back again today. And even though, like, so last night on stream, I was saying, look for a pullback, look for a pullback. Then even today, I was actually able to share the low of the day with premium members. Let me go to the SPY chart. Right there, I even actually shared it in the trading chat if you're not a premium member, but we played calls on this and they went up like 17%, probably like half an hour or something, maybe a little bit more. But looked for the pullback in these areas, saw the potential for a bounce intraday today. We got that bounce in power hour with a bullish bat that was flipping a previous resistance into a support, with the first time the 15-minute RSI was oversold since like all the way down over here, at least that oversold, like literally since like October 12th or yeah, October 12th. So yeah, I've been able to kind of see what the market was going to be doing next pretty much every single day this week so far. Keep in mind, it's only 2 days. And I'm going to stop being so egotistical now, and I'm going to tell you what I'm thinking now. Well, still losing momentum. I don't see any major bullish signals on higher time frames, and we're not really at any supports yet. We also now have confirmed pretty much classic bearish divergence on the S&P 4-hour chart. And really, just gut feeling. Again, I could care less if I'm wrong. Well, I want to be right, but again, it's not about validation for me. We had a nice bounce. I have no clue how the market opens tomorrow, but I do think tomorrow we might see a continuation of this little bounce. So even if we were to gap down a little bit and sell off, I do think we actually bounce tomorrow and we break above this high. So I think the SPY does get above 464.27 at some point tomorrow, just because we only had one reaction at this level. And this is pretty much your only real level that we can look at until like all the way down here. I mean, maybe you could look at like 460 as well, maybe psychological, but for the SPY in general, if we can hold this level, that's great short term. But however, like I just said, on those higher time frames, you don't really have much going for you. So I do think maybe Thursday, Friday, we get a little bit of a bounce back or just less selling pressure. But maybe we start dropping a little bit more towards the beginning of next week. But again, that can change. If some different catalyst comes out tomorrow or Friday, if the technicals change between tomorrow and Friday, that could easily change. But just to summarize, in terms of the SPY, I think we might see a little bit of a continuation tomorrow at some point of this mini, like literally this was, actually was a decent bounce, 0.39% bounce. And then if we do get a bounce tomorrow, I don't think it's going to be a major bounce, but just a little bit of relief. If we don't, then maybe move it over to Friday, and I'll just update you on tomorrow night's stream. But again, there's not major technical indicators behind that thesis at all. It's just, if you were, to make me give you some sort of my feeling for tomorrow, that's pretty much what it would be. But again, if we wake up and the market's down, gapping down 1%, don't blame me. I'm telling you right now, it's not the clearest edge compared to what it was the night before and the night before that. So we'll see. But that's just a SPY. In terms of the Russell 2000, there's just not an edge. There really isn't. Does it get down to the 233.5 support? We'll see. On the 1 hour time frame, you still have no, you actually don't have a chance for hidden bullish divergence anymore. And in terms of fibs, you probably crossed the 23% retrace. Pretty much hit the 382 retrace and bounced a little bit. This level intrigues me for the Russell 2000. This 50% retrace also lines up with a little bit of price action from over here. So maybe around 230. Oh, that also lines up. Let me move this over to the daily. Okay, that also lines up with this area, which is the previous resistance. So 233.5 still looks like the bigger level to me on the IWM. I would actually like to see a backtest of that level to flip it into support. That would actually make me even more bullish going into the end of this month in December if we can have a break, a hook, and a go off of that previous resistance we saw all year. That would be pretty cool to see for small caps. But again, what I'm doing tonight is very different from how I do market analysis on most streams. I'm being a lot more direct, but my edge is actually not as clear. I'm just trying to throw out different possibilities tonight. So don't try and think like anything I'm talking about right now is a certainty. It's not. For the ARK ETF, honestly, it's getting to the level where we can start calling it a potential inverse head and shoulders, because now you have that left shoulder developed for the ARK ETF. You have the head developed, and at this point, this is an area where you could call it a right shoulder if it were to start curling. But again, this is not even a confirmed pattern until it breaks above 126. So who knows? But I'd call it a potential inverse head and shoulders for right now in the ARK ETF if you're a mid-cap growth stock trader. But you do have hidden bearish divergence on the daily MACD and RSI for the ARK ETF. And then finally the NASDAQ, it broke right under this level. I talked about this level last night on stream. I was interested to see if there would be any sort of support around 15.8K, which is a gap fill. It's kind of the only level in these areas. It just kind of blew right through it. Let's see. So we kind of, we just gapped under the level. Then we actually came back up, and then we just fell back down again. So that was really it. 15,384 is kind of the next major level for the NASDAQ. Again, Fibonacci levels could be used here. see. So it's pretty much at the 23% retrace. The 50% retrace lines up with 15.1. Actually, both, look at these fib levels. These fib levels actually have a nice confluence with horizontal levels. If I extend this, not really your 236, but your 382 retrace lines up with your previous all-time high on the NASDAQ. Your 50% retrace lines up with this resistance from September, and your 618 retrace lines up with 15 or around 14.9K, which was resistance in August. So even the 786 lines up with this support area from June. So pretty much all of your Fibonacci's on the NASDAQ 4-hour chart line up roughly with horizontal levels, which means chart this and watch to see how each level reacts or is reacted to if it does drop to each one of these levels. All right, so that's really how you can break down the market during the day. That's what I would be doing. I already talked about this on Monday night stream, the demand lines. We obviously broke those demand lines as I did predict. Let me show you here. Why is it not popping up? Okay. Same thing on the SPY. So we broke those demand lines. I told you all to chart those demand lines as well on Monday night on your charts. And if you did, you would have pretty much known when we were breaking down for the overall market. So now I'm telling you, go and chart those Fibonacci's on your 4-hour for the NASDAQ and probably for the SPY. Go to that 15-minute chart and chart 462 and see. That's pretty much the big level tomorrow, 462. Of course, it could break under it for a little bit, maybe even gap under it. I don't know what futures will look like, but 462 is the big level you want to watch tomorrow. And that is the overall market. US 10-year bouncing back up today, kind of back above the head and shoulders neckline and broke under. We already talked about gold. I've been saying gold every night on stream for the past 3 or 4 nights. I mean, there you go. That's what happens when you break a supply line in the 200-day moving average. The dollar, wow. We also talked about this. We talked about how the dollar broke out of a cup and handle, back tested the cup and handle, and now it's going higher. So as you have a break, a hook, and a go. These are the things we talk about. It's just crazy to see the market doing what it looked like it was going to do because of charts. The US dollar moving based on drawings on my chart. And then even 10-year bonds, like, well, actually this one kind of, I was expecting a little bit lower, I'm not gonna lie, but it still did break down after we talked about the head and shoulders. So that's the overall market. Keep hitting the like button. We got 53 people in here, which is awesome. If you didn't hit the like button, I'd really appreciate it. Also, if you're not subscribed to the stream, subscribe to the stream. And make sure to check out the links in the description if you want to join premium, if you want to watch the free course, if you want to join the free Discord, whatever it is, check out the links in the description. Did my Wi-Fi just freeze? Am I still live? I think I'm good. All right. Chat's just quiet maybe, but my other screen froze, which is weird. So let me see what's up in the chat, and then we'll probably move on to CLOV after that. There we go. All right. Are you all still here? Why is it like, I don't know. So what's up in the chat?
Looking at me like that?
What do you want, Emma? What will make you happy?
I can't explain.
Keanu Trade says, my kid's begging for dinner. Nope, I'm watching the stream. Give the kids dinner.
This is your you are my last.
Medi says, yo, Bitcoin had a bearish butterfly at the top. I did not notice that. What else? Cuckoo Bird says, all my cryptos in Bitcoin and ETH sleep easy that way. They have performed exceptionally well pretty much in their whole entire history. Of course, there's drops for both of them, but they've just gone higher and higher since they were created. So hopefully you're doing well with those positions. Have a good one, Florida Nick. Thank you again for the tips earlier. I appreciate it. Is Neutron in here? Oh, what's up? Neutron's in the chat. I'm good. Thank you. Thank you. Lindsay Glenn says it was a sad day. I was red today as well. It happens. And JG dropping a shark emoji. All right. Good. Let me skip this song. What's up, Maxime in the chat? Hope you're doing well. Let's get some more likes. We got almost 60 people in here. Let's get 40 likes. You know what it is? Clover Health Investments. Okay. The chart, the breakdown. Let's get into it. Dropped about 5% today. Yikes. I did lose money on CLOV today. I still am in CLOV. We're actually going to have to come back to this in a second. Medi, if you're doing the timestamps right now, don't put CLOV as whatever this is. Wait for a couple minutes. We just got a tip, so let me look at that first. David in the chat says, great content. I'm liking your channel. Appreciate your time and support. David, thank you so much. I'm really glad to hear that. Yeah, if you're a new viewer of the channel and you want to learn more about everything and what the whole entire free trading movement is, join the Discord. Link is in the description. It's completely free. And Rich with the $5 super chat says thoughts on Wix. We're going to take a look at it. Reminder, any tip $3 or higher, I'll look at your ticker immediately if you don't have time or whatever it is. But yeah, thank you for the tip. Let's get some vibes in the chat for Rich. And Rich also said I put 100K in CLOV today. Should move by Q2 2022 IMO. We're going to look at CLOV right after Wix. We'll talk about it. So in terms of the chart, all right, let's break it down. So pretty much this was your support area back in September to January of last year, or September last year, January this year. So we're going to extend that out. You can also see that what was once support flipped into, so look, this was once your support area and it flipped into resistance. Okay, so that's one thing. That's pretty much your inflection zone between 234 and 245. All right, so you're currently under that, which means it's your resistance. If you were above it, it would be your support, but you're under it, which means it's your resistance. The resistance after that is 260.58, pretty much where this gap started. And then also that's currently where your 200-day moving average is. And it's where you had resistance in November of last year, as you can see right over here. All right, so those are your two kind of upside levels. If you go even higher than that eventually, let's look for the next one. Pretty much I'd say around 306. You could see it from this. You can see it from this and this and this. Okay, so that's why 306 is another resistance to the upside. All right, so you always want to be zooming out in your charts and looking for the highs and the lows. In terms of supports, let's zoom out again. You can see that this previous area was resistance. So that could now be support since you've broken above it. But again, that's way under the current price. That's pretty much between 140 and 156. More short term, you have this level at 196 from this candle low. I think that's like May 27th. And then also the candle low on August 17th. You actually have broken above that. And this is pretty close to a dragon pattern. If I chart a supply line right here, you can see that you have this supply line, you have your hump, and you have kind of like a higher low double bottom. It's a little bit extended. It is quite a higher low, but you definitely broke that supply line. Even if you take that away and you just look at this as like, I don't know, a channel with 1, 2, 3, 4 touches and then a partial decline, you broke out of it to the upside. So those are all your levels. That's the chart. I don't really see any divergence, but you already have divergence playing out. You actually have classic bullish divergence. Right over here, when you had a bullish hammer candle, and that was kind of like the major technical signal, and it's had a nice move up since then. So that is Wix. Hopefully that helped. Thank you again for the tip. And let's move on to CLOV. All right, CLOV. I'm gonna start with the bad news. Bad news from a technical standpoint is we talked about this symmetrical triangle last night on stream. Okay, now I want to make this very clear because there are some people stress me out a little bit. They don't understand technicals, but they watch my channel because they're interested in CLOV. So first off, if you're watching my channel and you don't understand technicals, I need you to spend 3.5 hours investing in yourself, and I need you to watch the course in the description. I made it for beginners to advanced, is free. All right, watch the course. Okay, I am telling you what is on a chart. I'm not being bearish about CLOV. Also, I could be bearish or bullish about whatever I want. I also want to make that clear. I'm still bullish on CLOV, by the way. But, okay, this is a fact. You have a symmetrical triangle. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches. Even if I move it like that, you can see it better. If I move it like this. It broke down today. You had a downside breakout of this triangle. That's the bad news. Okay, that's a fact. Because I don't know, there's been a couple of times where I mentioned like a bearish thing that happened on the CLOV chart, and people message me like, bro, why did you start being bearish? I thought you were bullish. It's like, do you not know? Like, I'm just gonna tell you what's on the chart. Sorry for ranting right there. I just want to make that very clear because it just stresses me out when I share something that's literally a fact about a chart and then somebody thinks I'm like, I don't know, spreading FUD or something. It's like, what? Also on the daily, so we already know we broke down to that, so I can just delete that off the chart. Also on the daily, your MACD did cross over to red, but you don't have any bearish divergence because actually on the RSI you might. You actually have hidden bearish divergence on the RSI. So I'm starting off with the bad. There's some bad on the daily time frame. You have a little bit of hidden bearish divergence on the RSI because you made a lower high from this high to this high, but you made a higher high on your RSI. MACD, this is known as bearish convergence. You made a lower high on price and you made a lower high from one MACD down into the next one. So that's all the bad. That's the bad that there is. Okay, there's also good for the chart. First off, we're back at a support and we actually bounced off a support. $7.11 was the bottom. And don't like using this word, but if you were here back then, bottom that I did call, which also dates back to supports from April 15th and April 8th. And I don't know, kind of those days I went under it, but even it was your low on May 13th. So it tagged the support today, which it bounced off of 3 days in a row in the beginning of October and actually had a nice little bounce off of it. So you did bounce off your support. That's like the one good thing on the daily time frame. So yeah, let's move down to the 4-hour time frame and what's going on here. So a couple different ways you can kind of perceive this. Also, let me go back to daily for one other thing. Still kind of looks like it's in a wedge to me. I redrew it a little bit overnight. So long term, still within this wedge. The apex of the wedge is beginning of December. According to my chart, of course, could break out before that in either direction. Hopefully not to the downside. I mean, would have to get under like 670 to break this to the downside. Anything's possible, but hopefully not. In terms of the 4-hour, this is how I initially had it. Okay, it broke out of that little dragon, had a nice little move, and then earnings happened. Obviously, override of the technicals, as we talked about last Thursday, or as I warned about last Thursday. At this point, whether you call this a dragon or not, there's a potential for a double bottom if it holds 711 on the 4-hour. You clearly bottomed off that on October 5th ish, and now you're testing it. It hasn't put in a confirmed low yet. If this were to be a low, then you have a 4-hour double bottom, and then maybe even I wouldn't look at a dragon like that. It's not a clear hump, but whatever. Also potential for this alternate bat to have a reversal low or a reaction low and then a reversal low. Again, this is all depending on CLOV using this area as the bottom, okay, for these technicals on the 4-hour to play out. Now, what could help CLOV use this area as the bottom? Well, the 1-hour chart does have some signals. Also on the 4-hour, you have close to a bullish pin bar. The body of the candle is a little bit large. You'd want that to be a little bit smaller, but the psychology is still similar with that large lower wick and small upper wick. David, thank you very much for the $4 tip. I think you said something earlier. I know I replied to your other comment. You said, any thoughts on ZNGA? Had a lot of volume and had unusual activity today too. I think they're a future acquisition target. Awful day trading stock. We're going to look at ZNGA as soon as I'm done with CLOV. Thank you very much for the tip and vibes in the chat for David. So that's what we got on the 4-hour chart for CLOV. You also potentially could get classic bullish divergence on the 4-hour, which could counteract your daily hidden bearish divergence on the RSI, but the MACD needs to start losing negative momentum. So 4-hour MACD and RSI, there's a potential for it because you've now made a lower low from this low to this low, but you need to start, or your MACD needs to start doing something like this, moving back towards green, like how you see over here, okay? So you have potentials, like, for sure if this is the bottom area, you have, if it were to be the bottom area, then you have, like, how do I put this? If this is the bottom area for local bottom for CLOV, and it starts bouncing up, it's going to help out this divergence, which in turn could lead to a larger move, and then also it'll invalidate the bearish divergence on the daily, which again would just take away that factor. So like, I can't tell you with certainty that this is the bottom for CLOV. There's potential variables for it. There's also a couple contradicting variables on the daily. So I'm just laying out the probabilities to you. I'm not here trying to call things. That's not what I do. But if we go over to the 1 hour chart, things get a little bit more interesting. Okay. So you could see, you had this scuffed bullish butterfly hit the PCZ and then had a 21% bounce off of it. What happened at that scuffed bullish butterfly? Your RSI was right around 30. Okay. Then you created a bullish shark, hit the PCZ. Your RSI was around 30 on the 1 hour. That led to a 12-13% move. Same thing has happened again. Your RSI is around 30 on the 1 hour. You hit the PCZ of a harmonic. We started talking about the shark last night. 886 got invalidated, went down to the 1.13. And actually, I charted this before, it went even lower, but technically did go lower to like the 1.16. For me personally, that fits my tolerance. I have about a 3 to 5% tolerance on pivot points for harmonics, which is more than most. Because again, I just use harmonics on top of everything else. A lot of people only trade harmonics. I don't really do that. So all of that, but what else do you have on the 1 hour that kind of aligns with the last bottom from over here and the bottom before that from over here? You're at your lower Bollinger Band, all right? You see this bottom red line? You were at it over here, it bounced. Over here, you were at that bottom red line, you bounced. Same thing, it's around that bottom line. As you can see, it actually, I think, got close to tagging it right over here. This thing's blocking it right on that candle. So 1 hour chart, you do have the same exact signals as you had on your previous two local bottoms, which is this area with the green box and this area with the green box. So you have, I shared you the good news, the bad news, interpret that however you want to. So that's your 1 hour chart. Let me go back over to the daily in a second. All right. And we're going to revisit that chart in a little bit when I talk about the day trade. But even if we look at the Bollinger Bands on the daily for CLOV, okay, we have the lower Bollinger Band on the daily. Now let me just quickly allow you to interpret this however you want to. I'm just going to draw boxes on the chart. So these boxes I'm drawing are every time that CLOV hit the lower Bollinger Band on the daily. Okay. One, two, three, 4 times. The last 4 times CLOV hit this lower Bollinger Band on the daily, it bottomed out. You had a 30-40% move there. You had like a over 60% move off of that bottom. This one, you went to all-time highs from pretty much low $6 area to $28. On this one, you had a 50% move in 20 days that nobody cared about. And then you're doing it again. So 4 for 4, the last 4 times it had this signal. Doesn't mean 100% that it's going to start bouncing around these areas, but just want to bring that up as well. And that is CLOV. That's the TA for today. And yeah, let me take that off my chart. All right, now we have to look at ZNGA for the tip. Keep hitting that like button if you didn't already. If you enjoyed that unbiased technical analysis, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, check out the links in the description, and let's look at ZNGA or David, who sent a $4 tip. All right, so I already have levels charted here on ZNGA. You have 778, which is a resistance from April of 2020 and a support from November of 2020. That's kind of your short-term resistance because you're slightly under it. Look, it was even your low on August 11th. Then you also have 964, which is this looks so similar to the chart we looked at. Wicks. Look at this. So Rich tipped for Wicks, right? Look at this. You see at this 260 level, it was where the gap started, and it's where your 200-day moving average currently is. If you go back to ZNGA, same thing. It's where your gap started, and it's where your 200-day moving average really is. Like for a second there, I got confused, and I thought I was looking at the same chart again. But that was interesting. I just randomly noticed that. So you have that 778 resistance. Then you have 965, which I just talked about. It's even a high from October of last year, a low from December of last year, a low from March of this year, almost a low from May of this year. Like 964 is a huge level. And if it somehow breaks that, then you have 1091 from these areas and this low and this high. In terms of supports and stuff, like these charts look so similar. Like, it's crazy. Wix and ZNGA. This is kind of like a lower low. I think Wix was like maybe higher low. I can't really remember. But again, if you don't want to look at it like that, you just look at this like a wedge that it just broke out of. There you go. So just broke out of this wedge, had a bullish engulfing candle on the daily today. And now it's testing this level. If you got confused by any of the terms I just brought up, they're all in the free course in the description. And you also have classic bullish divergence confirmed on the daily. So there is an edge for ZNGA if it can break above and hold above 778. I think they just had earnings though, so please do your own research on how that went. Not financial advice. Hopefully that helped. You also said it closed above the 50-day today, which is good. For me, that 50-day is at 777, but that's an EMA. I don't know if you're using an SMA. Let's see. It should be a 50-day. Yeah, it's a 50-day. Yeah, it did close above the 50 SMA for sure. That was 769. All right, so that's ZNGA. Thank you again for the tip. Futures. Whoa, futures popped. Not like crazy, but look at this candle right here. I don't know if something happened, but look at that. 15-minute candle up 0.15%. NASDAQ futures up 0.17% on the 15-minute candle, and then Russell 2000 futures up 0.21% on that 15-minute candle. Let's go back over to this. Oh, the Hang Seng Index is actually trying to. Whoa! I don't know if any news came out. Usually, like if you see the Hang Seng or like a different country's market running up, and also U.S. stock futures running up at the same time with like a pretty good candle like that quickly, it could be something with news. So I don't know if any news came out about whatever. And then also Evergrande is up 5% today. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. It's all over the place. News says one thing, the price action says another thing. It's crazy. Just want to let you all know about that. But crypto in the last few minutes actually dropped, or at least Bitcoin did, dropped about like 0.5% or something. So yeah, just some updates on a few charts right there. So we just talked about CLOV. We shall talk about the rest of the ongoing trades now. And then after that, I'm going to recap some premium day trades from today. And I think we might have some time for tick requests after that. Let me see what's up in the chat before I keep going through through ongoing trades. David says, have a good night, guys. Liking the channel. Girlfriend is going to kill me. Hope she doesn't, but have a great night. Thank you again for the tip. So yeah, thank you for the 50 likes, by the way. That pretty much means almost everybody who's currently in the stream hit the like button, or at least the people who joined and left hit the like button. But yeah, let's see what's up in the chat. Let's see where I left off. To OMI. I already looked at OMI. It'll be in the timestamps. Every single night after the stream, timestamps come out pretty much like an hour later. Medi does them, and it'll let you know when I looked at whatever ticker I looked, or all the tickers I looked at on the stream. What's up, Foresight Capital? If there isn't a moon on the chart, can you kindly draw one? I've done that before a couple times. What else? Isn't there RSI divergence for CLOV? Let's see. Well, yeah, I mean, this hidden bearish divergence could turn into classic bullish divergence on CLOV for the daily if that RSI starts curling up above 3760. So that could flip, but you're gonna want that price action to be green tomorrow for that to happen, pretty much. What else is in chat? These arrows are really helpful for me. Yeah, I'm gonna start doing that more often. Vitalik says ETH will outperform all your stocks. Cool comment. Maddie says thoughts on even Kathy saying Rivian stock is too overpriced. Even for her, I did see that. Yeah, I mean, when it was like 78, then up to 100 and something, like, yeah. I mean, the valuation is a bit absurd. I like the car. I made a full video on Rivian. It's on my channel. I like the car. I like the company, but it's too high of a valuation this early on, which could be said for a lot of different EVs, to be fair, in terms of what they have on paper and what their actual valuation looks like. But like, you know, it's how EVs are nowadays. I mean, you look at Tesla's multiple, and people are going to be calling Tesla a tech stock, not a car stock, because of that multiple. But it's, yeah, I mean, obviously not much TI can do on it, but we talked about it last night. I'd like to own Rivian in the future, but I'd like for a few months of data before I buy any to see how people are kind of reacting to, or how people are trading the stock based on its valuation. I want more data. Like, honestly, I want to see some sort of a technical edge even before because I like Rivian long term, but like, again, I'm not gonna act like I'm an expert on the company. I just know a very basic amount of it. But from what I do know, it sounds better to me than a lot of other small EV companies I'm not going to mention. And then Ford and Amazon are, like, you're talking about like literally like one of the most successful tech and e-commerce companies in the world. And then also, and why the e-commerce and the Amazon is important, again, they're just an investor, but you're talking about Amazon, like if they're putting a lot of money behind Rivian, it also just shows, I'm going to respond to that tip in a second, I just want to finish this point. It also just shows, like, if these guys are so good at doing that, you also have Rivian, which has pretty much just like Fisker, a D2C, direct-to-consumer format for people buying their cars. So if Amazon could somehow, you know, maybe use data or whatever they do, I don't really know what the relationship looks like. If it's just purely a financial investment and they get returns, or if they're actually working together, I don't really know, but that's big. And then obviously Ford, I mean, it's Ford. That doesn't really have to be explained. Louis says, can you take a look at DNN? Looks like hidden bullish divergence on the MACD, if I'm reading it right. Thank you very much for the tip. Let's get some vibes in the chat for Louis. Sorry if I mispronounced that, or Lou. DNN. All right. So you said hidden bullish divergence on the MACD. I don't know what time frame you're looking at. You're looking at the daily. This is just known as, well, you actually did have hidden bullish divergence right over here, and that's obviously playing out. But if you're just looking at the previous two MACD islands, you made a higher low on price and a higher low on the MACD, which is just known as bullish convergence. You did the same thing on the MACD and the RSI, which are MACD and price, which means you just went up. So that's just called convergence, not divergence. In terms of the chart, I've already charted levels here. And now if we're actually going to look into a little bit further, you have the potential for classic bearish divergence because you made a higher high on price, but a lower high on your MACD. So if the MACD flips over to red, at that point you would have confirmed classic bearish divergence on the MACD. It's testing this previous all-time high. If it can't hold it, I think 180 is the next level. You could see it from this high over here in a couple of these candles. That breaks and you got 150. In terms of lower time frames, really is kind of the easiest way to look at it. Chart a demand line, chart a supply line, see which way it breaks first, you know? And then same thing goes for the potential for classic bearish divergence on the 4-hour chart, on the MACD, and also on the RSI for the 4-hour. So really the way for this to be invalidated is either the MACD starts gaining positive momentum, right? And then you're just invalidated, or it just underperforms. And, you know, maybe it confirms, but maybe it just takes the price sideways or just does nothing. So it's pretty much what I got for DNN. And yeah, pretty simple chart. What else is in the chat? Whoa, Corey with the $20 tip. Thank you for all the tips tonight, everybody. I really appreciate it. More vibes in the chat for Corey. Wow, thank you very much for the 20. And I think that's the first Streamlabs tip of the night, if I'm not mistaken. So YouTube's not taking a 30% cut of that. Corey, thank you very much. Thanks for all the work you put in. I've learned a lot. I'm really glad to hear that, Corey. I hope you're doing well. Vibes in the chat for Corey. I don't know if you requested any takers in the chat, but sorry if I missed it. I don't know, just let me know again if you did, but really appreciate the message and the support. Medi says Bollinger Bands are the best technicals out there in my opinion. Seek for Gleek says, hey CB, weekly double bottom on CLOV 707 holes. It's at a support zone on the weekly. I wouldn't really call it double bottom. I mean, it's testing a support on the weekly. I have it charted. It's this like little green range. So that's how I would just look at it. Asia woke up. Jack says, don't talk about Evergrande, please. I'm emotionally scarred. Vibes in the chat from Corey and Corey says, we look at A and Y. Yeah. Thanks again for the tip, Corey. We're gonna get to Fisker. Let me look at this chart. BENE has earnings according to TradingView on the 17th, so that's coming up shortly in about a week. It's in between a support and resistance. 568 support, 763 resistance from this candle high, this candle high, this candle high, this candle low. Kind of tested it before pullback. It's right in between resistance. You don't really have any divergence that I see on the MACD and RSI on the daily. And on the 4 hour, you don't have anything either, really. You kind of had hidden bullish divergence on the RSI, but that's already been playing out. So not too much I can do here. It's just kind of in between support and resistance. I don't know which one it goes to next. Another thing you could maybe do is chart this on the 4 hour. Something, probably look at like this. Which again is just a neutral pattern. It's just a triangle, so it just depends on whichever way it breaks out. But yeah, it's pretty much what I got here. I tried a couple more levels historically. Yeah, those are pretty much like your major levels historically. But obviously it's very far from all those different levels. All right, so sorry, it's like a really quick chart breakdown. There's just not too much, and I don't want to like, you know, BS about any charts. So that's really all I got for that one. All right, so yeah, the ongoing trades, we already talked about CLOV, Fisker, boom, alerted it right over here, hit the first target, hit the second target, and just when it hit the second target, it pulls back. I mean, again, even if this does go on to hit 30 like in a month or something, at least it did show resistance at the second target, you know? And that second target was placed when the chart looked like this. You know what I'm saying? So really cool to see the targets working out nicely, at least for the short term. Of course, it could always just, you know, boom. But I'm just saying, showed resistance where I was looking to see resistance. 53% swing. It's technically not an ongoing swing anymore. I already said last night if there were to be third and fourth targets, it would be 21.58 and 23.67, and then support is around $16 and then 14.50 under that. So that's really it for Fisker. And Neo also already hit the first target, showed resistance, hit one of the two targets for a 20% gain. Now it's pulling back, no surprises. BENE, it didn't really move again today. It's not really a technical thing anymore. I mean, there's not much I can do on this chart, obviously. So just look into the SPAC yourself and make your own opinion. And then XL did get stop hunted today, but closed the day with pretty close to a bullish pin bar candle. Swing is down 6% since entry. So yeah, we'll see. It's just still kind of in this range. We'll see tomorrow where it closes at. And then VIPS, it's up a little bit since the entry. Again, this is a 2-year long bullish bat. All that really matters is where the swing ends up, so not much for me to give an update on TA wise on that. So it's really it for the swings. There's not that many ongoing swings right now. We just had a wave of like almost 2 months of targets hitting and targets hitting and targets hitting, and now the market's pulling back a little bit. There's less swings on the sheet. Gotta wait for higher quality setups to come. So it might be some time until I start sharing a bunch of more swings. I gotta see. It just depends on when I see opportunities, potential opportunities, but yeah, we got a few swings. We'll see how they end up. And if you were around for the last 2 months, and hopefully you enjoyed all the different swings hitting targets. hopefully we have a lot more by the end of the year. But that's pretty much the swings update. We could do a day trade recap thing, as I already talked about it. So the new segment on the stream is, whenever I share trades with the premium members, I'll recap them at night on the stream. I mean, we could, but I already looked at them. I already looked at CLOV and I already looked at SPY, but basically today was a red day for the SPY. It was down almost 1%. Today was also a red day for CLOV. It was down 5%. We played calls on SPY. We played calls on CLOV. They both were winning trades on pretty red days. So I think the first one I shared was CLOV actually. But my idea was pretty much what I already talked about on the 1 hour when we talked about CLOV. Just the signals with the RSI being at 30, the harmonic PCZ hitting, it's out of support from the beginning of October, and it's at the lower Bollinger Bands. So that was really like roughly my idea, even on like lower time frames. There was some classic bullish divergence at the PCZ on the MACD and RSI. And then there was also a little pattern on the 5 minute. Actually, that might be for the SPY. Yeah, it was for the SPY. So that was CLOV. It was, what's it called? It was about a 20%, actually a little bit more than 20% profit trade for premium members today. And like, I swear I'm not making this stuff up. You can go ask premium members, you can go join premium. Like, yeah, CLOV was down 5% today. It really didn't even have much of a bounce. But we made 20% off of CLOV going long. We did not get puts, we did not short it. We made 20% profit on CLOV in premium on the long side. You know what I'm saying? And this has like been the bread and butter for months and months and months. And I really do think it sounds crazy to people that aren't in premium, because if you look at this chart, like how am I nonstop just winning trades and trades and trades with calls on a chart that looks like this? Just I've learned how the low time frames work. It's not perfect. There was a failed CLOV trade tomorrow. I'll let you know that as well. You win some, you lose some, and a lot more have been winners on CLOV than losers in terms of the calls we've traded in the past few months. And if you want to learn more, links in the description. But that was pretty much the day trade recap for CLOV. I mean, technically none of the technicals really even played out. It just had a reaction at the PCZ level. If this were to actually play out, I mean, whoa, those calls will be up an insane amount, but they expire soon. So just a short-term little trade. A lot of the times on CLOV as well, when I'm doing like calls and like short-term stuff, and you get these technicals, like I'm, for a certain point of it, like it's just I just want to see a reaction, because this thing's in a downtrend. So your technicals, this might not fully play out perfectly and hit the targets within a couple of days, but if you just get a reaction at the levels where you're showing bullish signals, and you kind of can pick the right contracts to get where you can make a good profit off of that reaction, it's a profitable scenario. But again, it's not perfect. I'm never gonna act like I've traded CLOV perfectly. There's been losses, there's been mistakes. And the next time I have a mistake, I'll bring it up on stream like we did last week. That one day I had a really rough day. So that's one of the day trades I shared with premium members. And then also SPY, we already kind of talked about it. Hit the bullish bat PCZ on the 15-minute chart, which was the 886. And once I saw this, I also noticed the RSI was oversold, which was pretty much oversold for the first time on the 15-minute since like all the way down here. There was a couple times it got like literally slightly oversold, but in terms of like actually oversold, the last time was October 12th. Okay. So pretty much the lowest RSI level on the 15-minute chart for the SPY since like the end of September. So that was one thing I noticed at the PCZ of this harmonic pattern. And then also that PCZ happened to be a previous resistance from November 2nd. And then you happened to have pretty close to a tweezer bottom on the 15-minute and on the 5-minute chart. And then you were also in a descending broadening wedge on the 5-minute chart. And your RSI pretty much had a down sloping channel that it broke out of on the 5-minute chart. And then you had a break, a hook, and a go. It's almost like technicals aren't fake. That's crazy. And that was a 17% profit trade for premium members. Usually I wait for 20% profits to call it a confirmed winning trade, but the volume started dropping for a little bit on this high. So I was like, I'm just going to call it a confirmed trade. It's a day trade. I mean, yeah. So that was pretty much the recap. Really not that complicated today, so really quick day trade recaps. Just again, if you're not a premium member, I still want to help you out and see if I could teach you some of my day trading tactics. So that was your day trade segment for the stream tonight. If I take any tomorrow or share any tomorrow, we'll recap them. Same thing on Friday. Keep hitting that like button if you didn't already. And if you're interested in trades like that, the link for premiums in the description. If you're not subscribed to the stream, hit the subscribe button. Z for Bleak says traded Affirm today and after hours off a break hook and got the 1/6 level. Affirm had a crazy move after hours. And also good job. So really proud of you. I mean, you've been putting in the work, Zeke. I know we talked not too long ago. Keep up the good work. That's what I always say, like whatever you can do to improve every single day as a trader, you have to start doing. Stop show up to the market every day and follow some random person on the internet, on Twitter or on Reddit, and expect to make money when you're literally trading against people who have dedicated their lives to this. If you're really going to be lazy as a trader, I never want to lose money, but if you're going to be lazy, don't think you deserve to beat people who are outworking you in any craft. Like, I'm just going to say that honestly. There's a lot of lazy people that were brought into the market because of all the FOMO and all the hype, whether it was Dogecoin or AMC or GameStop, and they got pretty much free money. And a lot of those people have blown up their accounts because they were lazy. After they made the money, they gave it all back because they couldn't take out a couple hours a week to invest in themselves. And I do feel bad, but at the same time, like, this is why I want all of you to be watching the course, watching other people's courses, buying trading books, watching the stream every night, joining the Discord. I'm not even saying you have to join premium. If you don't want to join premium, don't join it. But whatever resource I can give you to help you learn, I want you to take advantage of. Whatever works best for you. All right.
What does a ghost really look like?
Thank you for the 60 likes pretty much on the stream. C for Bleak says he speaks the truth. All right, so we pretty much recapped everything I wanted to really talk about. So we could do take requests for a little bit if you want me to look at a ticker. I think it's the first night of the week that we're actually doing them. I'll do it for probably 10-15 minutes. So drop the ticker in the chat. Don't request anything up over 30% today. Do not request any OTCs. Do not request anything that IPO within the last month. And remember, nothing I say is financial advice. And keep hitting that like button. Almost choked. What is Poly Doge? Never seen that before. Wow, these are a lot of takers. I'm not gonna be able to get to all these. Please don't drop them in twice because then it really confuses me. So we had SOFI, VUZI, LAC, Rail, Wish.
What does a ghost really look like?
I'm gonna try and keep it to one ticker per person right now. I might have done a couple for a couple people, but
Swell night, isn't it? Look at that moon.
yeah, I'm gonna try and keep it to one ticker per person. SKLB.
Why?
Is it this?
Things you say.
Is crypto? Or wait a second. Did you mean SBLK? If you meant that, then I think that's what you meant. Because I was on the watch list recently. And premium members. Alright, sorry if I missed any. But we're gonna get started with these. Baba had classic bullish divergence and a wedge. It broke out of it. Went up to kind of like 182, which it was a gap fill. It was a gap fill from August 16th. And now it's dropping a little bit again. Potential for pretty much hidden bullish divergence on the daily if the MACD crosses over to green above the price of 140 or 139. Same thing on the 4-hour, potential for almost nearly confirmed hidden bullish divergence, and might be trying to break out of a little bit of a channel right now. So that's what I got for Baba. I'd say this 158 is like a short-term support from these two candle lows, from this candle low, from this candle low, from this candle high, from this candle low, 158.38. Charge point. I don't like how it got above the 200-day moving average and this historical resistance, only to gap down and close under it the next day. I mean, that's just not the best price action. I don't know what happened today, but it also gave up pretty much this demand line. So it did kind of break down after literally breaking out yesterday. So I don't really know how much the technicals are in play right now. It's just kind of being weird. I don't know if there's a catalyst or something. Really high volume too. 2374 is the short-term level I see from this candle low, this candle high, and this candle low, and then resistance around 2581 to 2633. Okay. I don't think there's any other exchanges. I only see this one, so I can't really do anything with 3 candles. And I don't know anything about that crypto. Disney, I think, had earnings. We could just went down about 4.5% on earnings, unfortunately. So that takes it down to 166.5, which pretty much would be a breakdown of this range it's been in literally like all year, or since February. So the next level after that would be 160.5. Isn't that what it just went to? Sorry. Yeah. Oh no, 166.5 is what it went to. So next level will be 160.5, and then a gap fill at 157.5. Assuming that's where it opens tomorrow in pre-market, and that's where it holds under. That's only if it actually breaks down. It's under it for right now. It could reclaim it during the market tomorrow. We'll see if it does or not. But you'd really want to reclaim 168 for Disney, because everybody has this range charted, and they're going to notice that it might be breaking down if it can't reclaim it. PENN, there's not much I can do on the chart other than levels. It's just been selling off. 5260 is a pretty okay. It's not the biggest level. It's pretty much your next level. If you break that, then you got 3881 if you break under 5260. And then these are your resistances, 75 and 85. All right. That's really all I can do. I don't know. Maybe an alternate bat. No, it's too deep. But if that's a 618, pretty much, this could turn into a couple different harmonics. Not really any PCCs yet. VUZI. I'd say 1273 is the level you wanted to get above and hold above. And then after that, you got some resistance around 15 to 1625, which is your 200-day moving average, and then $20 from this high and these 2 lows. I don't really see much of a pattern or divergence, so. SOFI, I think, had earnings maybe. SOFI went up 13% after hours to $23, which pretty much takes it back up to here, which is where I guess it was last Friday, pretty much. 24.50 is your next major resistance. $21 is your support. We'll see how it opens tomorrow morning pre-market. There's not much of a pattern at this point. You do have potential you have confirmed classic bearish divergence. But since it went up 13% after hours, the MACD might switch back over to green. I don't know. I have to see how it looks tomorrow. LAC still above that demand line. Not overbought anymore on the daily. And I don't really see much of a pattern. There is yeah, there's potential classic bearish divergence. That would be, I think, class C. You have the same high on the MACD and then a higher high on price. So you have the potential for that. If the MACD crosses over to red, there's really nothing I can do apart from that. I mean, I already have some of it charted if you want to look at how I had it charted before that. But look at this, like in hindsight, like boom, cup and handle, broke out of the neckline, back tested the neckline, and it went to the moon. Rail, I like how it reclaimed 461. Now it's just showing resistance at the 200-day moving average around 5. If it breaks that, next resistance is 611. 461 is your closest support. If that breaks, then you got 407. Wish went up, I think, after hours. No, it went up and then went back down. I think they had like a beat and then they announced like the CEO changing or something. Don't quote me on that. Now it's at 488 after hours. We'll see what it looks like in the pre-market. I mean, if we're gonna go over to the daily time frame, maybe I extend this out a little bit, but kind of just consolidation for right now. You have some support around 490, which is roughly where it closed after hours. We'll see if that can hold tomorrow or not. LEV. Honestly, this whole entire zone has just kind of been support, which is a pretty wide zone. You bottomed off of around 1280 in March and April, and then you bottomed off of around 11 in September and October. So you could probably just chart 2 different supports pretty much. Those are your levels. You're kind of in between them. And that's really about it. I don't see much else to be talking about here. Yeah. And then SBLK. Yeah, this one was sent to a watch list for premium members on Sunday. I sent a weekly watch list out for premium members. Pretty close to a bullish Gartley, testing the 200-day moving average with potential classic bullish divergence. I haven't shared this as a swing because earnings are on the 16th, which is a little bit under a week from now. So I don't really know much about this company. Just an interesting chart I saw. In terms of the chart, I'd say it's testing a little bit of a support level back from like June. And it was also your support on in the beginning of this month. It actually was your low of the day around 1841. If it breaks that, then next level could be like 1665. And then after that, 1493. In terms of upside, you have a gap fill at 2029, resistance at 2333, and then resistance at around 25. So those are all your levels on SBLK. Boom. Yeah, keep hitting the like button if you didn't already. Let's get to 75 likes. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe. If you're not in the Discord, join the Discord. If you want to join premium, then do it. If you want to watch the free course, it's in the description. Okay. Corey says apparently Elon Musk sold almost 900 million Tesla stock. Yes, the selling did happen. So yeah, that was a bunch of different tickers we just looked at. Maxime says I bog with the supply zone on top of all the highs, starting at all-time highs, and lines up perfectly with current price right under it. Looks ripe. Yeah, go ahead and post in the Discord. Insert mod message here. Cheese Puff says, why would Fubo be down on good earnings? Welcome to the stock market. Welcome to the stock market. I mean, CLOV beats on revenue, beats EPS estimates, show good signs of growth in different areas of their company. Stock's down 10% since earnings. Market will do what the market does. Zeke for Bleak says I got 2 calls for Friday on SOFI. I hope it moons tomorrow. I wish you luck. Justin says, I think I might start buying puts on earnings, but if the earnings go well and the stock goes up 20%, then you lose money. You know, really, it's really where most options buyers lose is when the stock does nothing, because then you just have an IV crush and data takes effect, and yeah. That's for option buyers, you know. I don't really know the stats for option sellers with earnings, but there's a different, more than a few different strategies I've heard of. But yeah, I mean, it's like it's leverage in general, and you have no clue what the earnings will be. I mean, of course, you could do your fundamental analysis, and if you're really good with that stuff, I'm sure a lot of you are better than that than I am. Then maybe you have a better estimate as what the numbers could potentially be. But at the end of the day, there could always be some sort of a surprise that you just can't factor in. And yeah, earnings just, they can go either way. Have a good one, Avalon. A West says, been watching free course, want to join premium, but not sure I'm ready. Been watching you for a while. Appreciate all you do. A lot of people say that. A lot of people like DM me saying, hey, I'm looking to join premium soon, but I want to watch the course first. So yeah, I'm not gonna say it's a bad idea. Definitely watching the course before joining could help out a lot. It'll just help you understand a lot of things I talk about much quicker. But at the same time, there's a couple things like, yes, I definitely understand that. But I don't think, because we've had like people who are completely new to trading join premium, and it takes time. I'm not gonna act like in one day they became masters. Like, no, It takes time, but the earlier you start seeing what I'm doing. And again, I'm no master trader. I'm not even a professional trader. But you can start seeing how I line up probabilities and how I manage risk. Like, the more you can put yourself ahead of others at an earlier time, the more you're going to be able to learn compared to them. It depends on your schedule too, you know. And then also over time, the price is going to be going up. I'm probably going to raise the price again in December. I'd estimate. I'm never gonna do like any crazy price hikes. Probably, you know, I don't want to say anything specific, but I'll just go up incrementally, probably every other month. I'll say this till forever. No, there's not one person with $30 a month that offers what I offer. There isn't. Go find me them, and then I'll change my prices if you can. It's just not always possible. Somebody else will be doing it. I'm the only one doing it. So the price will go up over time. Obviously, not for members who are already signed up. You get grandfathered in. So, you know, it just depends. Whatever's best for you, I want you to do that. Your blind spot says, will I get IV crushed on my Friday AFRM calls, gambled on earnings? I mean, it depends on what the calls are and what the IV is. But if the stock went up 27% after hours, unless you got like literally the most insane out of the money calls ever, this is not financial advice, and I literally don't know what the options chain looks like, but if they were pretty close to at the money, you should be fine. Not financial advice. Because I don't really want to pull up my brokerage right now to look at the options chain, so that could be completely wrong, but that's, from what I understand, that's a pretty large move. So if you were in calls, it might override that IV crush. I mean, it's a pretty volatile stock regardless, but just look at the IV and look at the Greeks. But it went up also. I mean, who knows how the pre-market goes, but after hours went pretty good for it. All right. And then just one last thing to the point I was making on premium. If you're a little bit confused as to why I'm making that bold of a statement, the link is in the description. It's the first link. And if you click that link that takes you to the sign up page, there's another link you have to click. Sorry for all the links, but that's how you access things on the internet. That says overview video or walkthrough video. Then you click that, and it's like literally only a 5 minutes. It's only a blimp of what's in premium, but in that video alone, see all the things I talk about. That's for $30 a month, $1 a day. And then I go on Twitter and I see people sharing like 3 swings a week for $80 a month. First of all, let me stop. I'm just gonna stop. Zeke says, good night, peeps. Thanks for the stream. CV, catch everyone tomorrow. Have a good one, Zeke. IV was 145, 145%. They were $180 calls. If it can hold these gains in pre-market, they should be up tomorrow morning. Not financial advice. Let me turn off extended hours. Vibrations. Let's get some vibrations in the chat, everybody. What's up, D? Maxime says, how do I share my trade idea from TradingView on Discord? You could either publish a publish idea. You could do that, and then you just share the link to whatever the link is after you click on publish. Share the link, or you hit this little camera and then you put copy chart image, and that'll just take a screenshot of your chart, and then you just paste that in the Discord. Getting some vibrations in the chat from Eric as well. All right, so I think that's going to be it for the stream tonight. Hope you enjoyed. 400 people watched the stream, which is super dope. Have a good night. Good luck trading tomorrow. This was like a 1.5 hour stream, so it's good that I went live early tonight. I'll be live again tomorrow night at 9 p.m. EST, and I'll see you there. Nate says, champ, your mic is static when you move around. Thank you for letting me know. I'll look into it. Appreciate it. Yeah, if there's ever like any audio or visual things you notice that are a little bit off in the stream that I could just easily fix, please let me know in the chat, because I'm very OCD about how the stream looks. All right, have a great night. Join the Discord, links in the description. Just check out the description. Have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow night. Peace out.